2, 1. Hey, folks, how's it going? It's your favorite realtor from New York, Queens, Long Island. That's me. You're watching the Real Tea with ESG, and I'm ESG, Evan Saint-Gerard, in case you didn't know. Today's special guest is Kevin Spellman. Kevin, say hello to
Hi.
the audience.
Hello, audience.
All right, Kevin basically is a photographer, a videographer. Kevin, you're also a musician. What else? You have a million jobs.
Yeah, I'm a grandpa too, to two
Congratulations.
little boys. Yeah, they keep me busy.
Congrats.
They'll be working for me soon enough. So,
Good, good, good. Keep it in the family. That's what I say. We're talking about photography and what sellers should know about photography. We run into this a lot when we list a house, we put the house on the market. One of the first things that we do is schedule an appointment, hopefully with Kevin, to make an appointment to take photos of the house. We always tell the sellers to have the house, I'm going to say hotel ready, 5-star hotel ready. And what my definition of 5-star and your definition of 5-star might be slightly different. So I figured let's get an expert here and explain to the audience what they need to do if they're putting the house on the market, what they should be prepared to do. So, Kev, the stage is
first of
yours.
all, thank you for referring to me as an expert. I have been doing this for a while, so there are tips and tricks I can share with you. But for the most part, it is, it's incumbent upon the realtor to explain to the homeowner what needs to be done, and the low hanging fruit, the easy things to do are have your home ready as if you were going to have company.
Just to put this in idea in everybody's head, pretend your mom is coming over. And we
Mom,
all have moms basically who they're gonna put their finger on, hey, when was the last time you cleaned?
right?
Pretend your mom and grandma are coming over.
Okay. Well, actually, that's also true. There are going to be people. So the photos are stage one. Stage two are walkthroughs and open houses and tours. And of course, you want the place immaculate by then because there will be moms there doing just that. But for the photos, what I really like to do is I don't want to be too much of a burden on the homeowner or the client, the realtor. But what we do want to do is we want to have things like the toilet seat should be down. Simple as nobody wants. First of all, we almost never shoot the toilet anyway, but in the event that we can avoid it, toilet sheet should be down. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, makeup, things on top of the sink and the vanity, that should be put away. Let's see. Beds made.
You only have one chance to make a first impression, and it's
That's
very
actually
important that basically we make our job as realtors and as the photographer is to make the house show the house in the best lighting possible. So what you give us is what we work with. Well, I want to go all the way back to the beginning. One of
okay.
the first things that I've learned from you over the years is pretty much taking the photos. We're doing the driveway. Car has to be out of the driveway.
Right. Well, if you want to start
Cars.
right, cars, right. Driveway should be empty. You do want to show that there's plenty of driveway, and sometimes when there's a car in the driveway, you can't really tell that. The front of the house should be, let's face it, that is oftentimes that's the first photo people see in the listing. So we want to make the front as camera ready as possible. And as you said, that is really your first impression. Yeah, in the backyard, if you have a backyard, even if it's a small one, declutter it, get rid of garbage cans, kids' toys, playground equipment, the low hanging fruit, we assume it's easy for people to realize exactly what it is they need to get rid of. We think it's easy for them to assume what it is they need to do, and it's not.
So
But
when a realtor tells you we're doing photography, whatever the day is that you agreed to do photography, videography, whatever it is, floor plans, Matterport, whatever it is, the day that you agree, the realtor is going to go over, hey, this is what you need to do. Take everything off the counters, especially in the kitchens and the bathrooms.
right,
Put them out of sight. If there's a closet, stuff them in the closet. What we tend to do is a lot of times, if there's some clutter, we can move stuff into one of the rooms. We can take pictures of, let's say there's 4 rooms. We can take pictures of 3 of the rooms and put everything in the 4th bedroom.
right.
But we can work around certain things. But it to your benefit, it helps basically if you can move stuff out, put them in the garage, find some place to put them that's not visible, so that way we can take the photos. Because again, like we mentioned before, this is the first impression that people are going to see when they're looking at homes. And if it's too cluttered, people can't envision themselves living there, and they're not going to want to come
Exactly.
visit.
I'll take it one step further. I would assume that some people, when they call you, they're ready to sell their home. So I think what good best practices is, if you know you're going to sell your home, and in this market now, homes are moving kind of fast, unusually so. If you know you're going to sell your home, start getting rid of the clutter. Start doing that Maria Kondo thing. And if it doesn't spark joy, get a dumpster, get rid of it, put it on your curb. Oftentimes, by the way, a lot of people don't realize this. If you put something on the curb, you don't have to wait
Yes,
for sanitation.
yes.
Some people come by and get it.
Somebody will. If you
Yeah.
put a sign that says "Hey, free, take me," somebody will.
You don't even have to put a sign on it in some neighborhoods. We know that. My neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but don't do that on the day of, or even the day before. We want to have the front of the house as clean as possible. Oftentimes I take my drone up in the air and I get a really nice wide shot of the house and its relationship to the other properties. And sometimes you just can't hide that, the
yeah.
trash, in front of the house. So that's good. That's good practices too.
And so you want to explain to people what entails in the floor plans
Right.
and
So
Matterport
floor
and stuff like
plans.
that.
Right. So it really depends. We do two types of floor plans. One is included in the 360 tour, which incidentally, if we're doing a photo package and the 360 tour, if we have to start moving stuff, we have to move it twice. We have to move it for the photos, and we have to move it for the 360 tour. The floor plan just alone, the standalone floor plan, it's really not as much of an ordeal. But there were times when I shot a house, I scanned a house, and it couldn't tell the difference between a wall and boxes that were stacked up against the wall. So less clutter for floor plans is also that's also good practice. There's when Evan and Dean book me, they get a confirmation email, and in that confirmation email there are best practices. We can't kind of pared it down so it's palatable, because let's face it, nobody ever reads the terms and services of anything.
Exactly.
But it's in your best interest to read this, follow it as close as you can. And there have been people who followed it to the letter and went above and beyond, which
Well,
makes our job so much easier.
that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video series, so people understand, hey, you know what? I might be telling you something, my assistant might be telling you something, my rest of my team are telling you something. It might not. I know that this is kind of a tough time. You're selling your house and you have other things going on in your life, and not everything is clicking at the time. So basically that's why we do videos like this, so you can watch at your leisure. You're like, oh yeah, they did mention this. Oh yeah, I need to do this. Oh, this is not that hard if I do this, this, and this. I mean, we're trying to make your life as easy as possible, and this is a stressful time in your life when you're
Right.
selling a house. And our job is to take the stress out. How long does a photo shoot normally take if they follow everything that we've suggested?
Yeah. So there have been times when I'd walk into a 4-bedroom home, and I'm in and out in 30 minutes, and that's with taking really, really good detailed, many photos, up to 30 photos. And it's too short, but we get it done. So it can take anywhere from 30 minutes, depending on what size, how many levels, how many floors, up to an hour. It can take that little or that long. If we're doing a floor plan in addition, it could be an additional 20 to 30 minutes. Same with a 360 tour. 360 tour is a little bit, it's time consuming because you have to scan every 5 to 7 feet.
Okay.
We want to capture the property. And that's the other thing. The 360 tour is a 360 tour. There's no way to hide.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you are going to do a 360 tour, and we do recommend them, you want to make sure everything's put away, everything's neat. A once over, walk through the kitchen, walk through the house, look down on the floor, even if there's some dust on the floor. It pays to get rid of it for the photos, especially.
One of the things I like to suggest to the clients when they're putting the house in the market, we've done the consultation, we've talked over what needs to be done. Most likely the realtor, the photographer, we're normally going to get there a little early. I usually get there early just to look around the house and see if there's anything that needs to be moved or just discarded. We find someplace else to put it. Obviously, Kevin, the photographer, is going to be there. They're going to look around before they take pictures, and they might make some suggestions. Maybe the couch might look better if we move it this way as to putting this way. So we will make some suggestions and move some stuff around just to show off the rooms. Sometimes you might have a large couch and you can't really see, or the bed, you can't really see the whole room. So basically, Kevin might make a suggestion. Let's move this couch over here. let's move these tables over here so we can show off the rest of the room and stuff like that.
Right. And of course, that's no reflection on the homeowner's personal style. That is, in our experience as a realtor and a real estate photographer, this is how the room will show best. And even the things you do use on a regular basis, like spatulas, silverware that you usually, cooking utensils, put those away. Paper towel holders is a huge pet peeve of mine. Paper towel holders, some of them are beautiful, but they're still paper towel holders.
Yeah.
To see them,
we don't really see, people want to see the house, not the paper towel holder.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, like I said, what I'll do is when I shoot a home is I show the room I'm in, and in many times it's proximity to the next room. So we will always see what's in the next room. So if you're thinking that hide stuff in that room, it's not always possible. So,
all right. You know what? I'm looking in your room as we're talking. TVs should be on or off?
Off always. Yeah.
Right.
By the way, if you look at the TV behind me right now, you're going to see this light I have here reflecting.
Yeah, the glare.
That is a problem sometimes, especially with flash photography. So 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to go in and I'm going to Photoshop that screen so it's black anyway. But make it easier for me. Have the TV off so that we're not watching. I also do bracketed photos. So I take 5 photos in succession. Sometimes there's like a quarter of a second in between each photo. So if it's a moving picture on the TV, it's going to be all blurry. So
gotcha.
Rather have it off. No ceiling fans. Ceiling fans are our enemy. Light is our friend.
Turn the ceiling fan off.
Yeah. Ceiling fans off, lights. And here's this is a good tip. I also did a video a while ago. If you have a fixture with 3 lights in it, make sure there are 3 lights in it. No one wants to see a fixture with 2 working lights and 1 broken light, or worse, two working lights and no light in the third fixture. The same goes to the bathroom.
We're talking about light. We got to talk about the windows. The blinds, should they be open, closed, all the way up, down?
So, and of course, I'm glad you brought that up because that really depends. If you're living in an apartment building and what you look out through the window is the window of the apartment across the courtyard, that's not necessarily something we want to see in the photos. So what I'll do is I'll either put the blinds down and roll the slats up so you have a sense of what's out there, but you don't really get that there's somebody who could easily just like look into your window. Gotcha. So it really depends on what's out the window. If you have shrubbery in front of your home and you have a triple window, let's say, and let's open it up. Let's get that green and even the blue sky from outside, inside the house. I always expose for the outside. So you'll see, especially if it's a beautiful vista.
I have to go back to my favorite room, the kitchen. All right. So we talked about majority of the kitchen, but the refrigerator, my home. The stuff on the refrigerator, I would suggest that people please take as much stuff off the refrigerator, the magnets, take all that stuff off. If you can make it a blank canvas, please do that.
Well, if you think about that for a minute, if any of you have stayed in an Airbnb, if you go to an Airbnb and all you see around this home are personal photos and things on the refrigerator, a picture of people's grandchildren, as sweet as that is, it's a little off-putting. So what we don't want to see is any magnets, any photos on the refrigerator. The refrigerator is an appliance. You wouldn't do that with your dishwasher.
No.
You do that with your washer dryer. So don't do it with that. You're not taking the refrigerator with you. You're leaving it 9.
Most of the time they're not.
Yeah. So let them see this fabulous piece of equipment that you have available. Thing is, while we're on the subject of photos, if there are photos in your house, and many of us have photos of our children, our grandkids, our siblings, if you don't want those to appear online in perpetuity, because let's face it, those pictures are forever, take them down.
I always suggest basically take any personal photos, take them off the wall, put them somewhere else. We'll take the photos and then we can put them back on the wall.
Right. And there are times when I can blur out the photo, but when it becomes, more, it's time consuming sometimes.
Yeah.
That's also off-putting.
Yeah. Because basically people are looking like, why is that blurred out? What's going on there?
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to have that lead into more questions because people are always like, well, if it's blurred, there's something wrong. So you don't want to do that.
You said it at the beginning. You said first impressions. You only get one chance to make a first impression. So why not do it? Do it right the first time. And you mentioned laundry rooms, and I'm glad you mentioned
that.
Most houses in New York, I would venture to say most houses in America have a laundry room somewhere, especially if it's a
Yeah.
big house. Sometimes we do want to see it, and sometimes we don't photograph it, especially if it's a bit of a mess. But if there's a laundry room and you have something special there, let's clean that up. Let's get rid of the laundry. Laundry detergent's fine because that's what's in a laundry room. There are certain things that are okay, but the laundry room should be free of clutter. Certainly no laundry.
Yeah, get the laundry out. If there's stuff, this goes for the sink, basically in the bathroom, the kitchen, and in the laundry room.
Right.
Take whatever's in that sink out, hide it somewhere, throw it in the closet. We're not taking pictures of the closets, but basically we want to see everything else.
Right. Unless it's a really remarkable walk-in closet. And even then, I'm glad you brought up closets. If you have a walk-in closet and it's really remarkable, I would say let's photograph it. But let's remember something. Even a well-kept walk-in closet can look messy. So unless you've had experience working at the Gap and you know how to fold clothes and hang them on hangers and put your shoes in it, then I would suggest we don't take a picture and let the people see it when they get there.
The most important thing is pretty much let the professionals that we're hiring do their job so they can get you what you want. And that's what we all want, is basically to sell your home so you can be happy, so you can recommend us, so we can continue the cycle over and over again with your friends and family and whoever else.
Exactly. And that's interesting that you should say that, because I work for a lot of realtors, but you, Evan, you are a professional, and the fact that you're doing video alone, this video for the series alone it shows how much you care. And I certainly appreciate the opportunity to share this with whoever is watching or listening. So, but they should know that you guys are amazing.
That's why I call this the Real Tea. I don't have my actual tea thing with me right now, but it's called the Real Tea with ESG. So with that being said, I want to thank Kevin basically for agreeing to do this video. If you have any questions about anything, do not hesitate. That's what we're here for. We're here to answer questions. Feel free to share this with anybody who might be thinking about selling their home, relocating, or anything like that. There's a lot more, but we don't want to, scare you with so much detail. We just want to give you some information so you're aware of what's going on. So when you are ready to make that move, we're going to have everything itemized. So you know what exactly to do.
Exactly.
All right. So on that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
There you go. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.